I don't even know why it's worth mentioning that. We didn't even talk about it. After the dinner, I also took her and all her friends out and paid for everything. So I don't understand where this like money thing is coming from. It seems like it's another sad attempt to try to use money against me. I'm not sure why. She didn't pay for a single thing when I was there.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Air Gordon, and this is Motivation Nation. And for those of you that don't know what's going on, this is part two of a dating horror story. So, part one will be down in the description so you can get caught up to speed. But make a long story short, just so if you don't want to see part one, which I highly recommend that you do so you can understand what's going on. A young lady made a story time about a TikTok influencer and how they went on a date. And he spent 4 or 5 days with her, and it went horribly wrong. Well, this TikTok influencer caught wind of it, and now he's responding to her allegations. So let's see what his response is to what she had to say. Let's go.
Okay, I am probably the last person she should have lied about on the internet because if you've ever seen me before, you know I'm petty and I come with receipts.
Uh-oh.
So, since she wants to use my name, I will use her name.
Whoa.
And I'm going to show the text. I have all the receipts. So, let's start with the quick overall. We met in New York City, that is correct, on my last night or something. We had a good time. And I went home the next day, which is in California. We discussed wanting to meet again, but particularly this month, I had a super busy schedule and we'd have to be strategic if we were going to meet up. I told her I was going to Vegas for CES for a brand deal, and at the end of the month, I was going to Park City for Sundance. Obviously, she wanted to come to Park City, but that's a group trip for me, so we thought it would be best if we were able to hang out a little bit before. So, since I was going to Vegas the following week, considering it's halfway to Texas, I would just come there to her after a few days. That made the most sense. So, let's start with the bullshit. And I want to make sure that you notice a pattern of how money-centered this girl is, which she even makes it super clear from her video.
Hold on.
So I'll come back to that. Number
Yes,
one,
correct.
I asked her in the very beginning if I should get a hotel room, which I had no problem with. She said no, very clearly, right here. Second, I was booking...
Should I book one? No, I was kidding. I can. No. Laugh out loud, stop, of course. You'll stay with me. Okay. All right.
Last-minute flight from Vegas to Texas, and the only direct was Frontier. Obviously, we both know it's a shitty airline, but my other options were $1,200 for non-directs or a $200 direct Frontier flight. On what planet would I not take that for 2 hours instead of flying 8 hours with a layover and paying more money? Very beginning, she had a lot of comments to say about it, and it's funny she mentions it because I'm a reasonable person. And I don't think any other reasonable person, I don't care how much money they have, would choose to fly 8 hours over 2 and have a stop and pay more for it. That's just not reasonable. Now, the night before my flight at 9 p.m., she switched up and said...
I just want to know if he's going to talk about what happened with her and her friend in the bed and him being in there naked. I want to know if he's going to get into that. Is he going to give us what really happened? Because she didn't want to tell us. She didn't want to tell us on the first video what was really going on. But he's talking about how they got there. Okay, fine, because she tried to clown him for riding Frontier. Hey, listen, man, look. An airplane is an airplane as far as I'm concerned. If it get me where I'm going and it's nonstop, well, I take that back. It's certain airlines I don't like to ride, but at the end of the day, 200 versus 1,200, I got to ride that flight I don't want to ride. Because at the end of the day, we all just going in there. I'm just trying to get there. Let's let him ride.
Hey, we should get a hotel, meaning I should get a hotel. I didn't even look at the hotels or the pricing or anything before telling her honestly, you know what, I might just go home. I had been filming in New York for December. I had gone to Mexico City for a concert. Then I went back to New York to spend time with my family. I went home for a few days, which is in California, to see my friends for New Year's. And now I was in Vegas. I didn't want to spend another weekend in another hotel. Like, I think that was totally fair. So I told her, I don't really want to do that. I can go home and we can discuss plans for something else when I have more time. It's not a problem. She told me, no, never mind, and she still wanted me to come. So I said, okay, that's fine. Before I get to her personal oddities, let's talk about dinner. I took her and her friend to dinner. My card did its little fraud thing because I had been traveling so much, and I gave them another card immediately and paid the whole bill, no problem. I don't even know why it's worth mentioning that. We didn't even talk about it. After the dinner, I also took her and all her friends out and paid for everything. So I don't understand where this like money thing is coming from. It seems like it's another sad attempt to try to use money against me. I'm not sure why. She didn't pay for a single thing when I was there, which is how I always am. She also didn't pay for anything in New York. So again, I don't understand what the point of this is. Now, let's talk about what happened before the video. The entire time I was there, all she did was mention money and the guys that she uses for money. The guy that's been flying her out, who she claims to never touch. I'm going to mention the guy because I clearly don't give a shit. This guy apparently lives in New Orleans. She flies there for one day, sees him, and apparently leaves the next day. She never mentioned if she sleeps with him or not. I didn't want to ask, but she kept...
Sir, do you expect me to believe that she's flying out for one day and flying back and nothing happened? Sir, she admitted that you climbed into bed naked with her and her friends. Are you going to deny what potentially took place there? You said you didn't want to know if something happened with her. I think you didn't want to know because you already knew. I mean, I don't have to call Miss Cleo. I don't have to get a crystal ball and rub the top and ask it what's going on to know what's going on. We all grown here. We all know. I know what you were trying to do, sir. You spent a lot of money. You took her and all her friends out. Come on. You flew out there to stay with her. We all know what was on your mind, but we all know what was on her mind. So let's just get all this out in the open and let's stop pretending like this ain't what it was and this ain't what it is. Okay? Well, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Mentioning that and how other guys will fly her private and this guy did this and this guy did this. And all she did was mention money and the guys that she uses for money. I want to elaborate on that because, sure, you can get your bag. You can do whatever you want. But you were making it very clear to me that you were using them and that...
Hey, sir, she used you for money. You went out there and paid for her and all her friends to go out. You went and took her and her friend out to eat. So yeah, she's using you for money too, sir. So I just want to make sure that you're putting yourself in that same bag as everyone else that she's telling you about. So she's running a cold game right now, a really cold game. We're just gonna go with what you're saying. Now she's telling you how she uses guys for money. Guys fly her out. Allegedly, this is all what you're saying. So I can only go on what you say. And here you are, you've shown up, you've flown out on Frontier Airlines and paying for everything for her. She running a cold game, and I'm not understanding how she's getting this game over on y'all. I don't get it. But she running the game, and she putting it on you, too. But let me let you finish.
Thing that I personally have a problem with. So, with that being said, that is where I started to get the ick. Not only that, but I'm sure I'm going to cause something here because I met two of her friends, and I'm going to speak to both of her friends directly. I thought you were both very kind. She hates you. She talked more shit about her friends than any of the guys she dated, and I have details. One of her friends is in a toxic relationship in which she claimed she would not speak to her friend again until she got rid of the man and she got a job. And the other, who I also really liked, she's tired of paying for you, and she's also tired of hearing about your relationship. So if I were you, I would find a better friend who's a lot more supportive. Also on the subject...
Hey, man, you crossing the line. Now you're spreading gossip about women and women's business because I guess you're upset with the video that she made. But you want to talk to her friends about what she's saying about them at this juncture? It's only one thing worse than he said, she said. And I won't get into it. That'll be another video when I tell you about that.
Of what was going on while I was there, before I get to the video I made, she would not stop talking about how she wants to get famous on TikTok and quit her job, and that she hates it and doesn't want to work there and wants the guy that she's with to pay for everything. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with that unless you're desperate about it. The reason I say she's desperate is that she continuously asked me to help her make TikToks, and you know what? So I did. I'll put it right here. I wrote her a little script about herself to make her a little funnier than she comes off. Now, on the subject of her job and knowing that we have different beliefs, I would never pretend to be something I'm not in order to advance myself. And she continuously puts aside her morals or anything that she believes in to interact and be a part and recognize on the other side.
But, sir, I have to I have to put this on you at this point. You didn't spend enough time getting to know this girl before you actually went out to meet her. And everything that she's telling you is letting you know that she has put all her morals to the side or has a very low moral compass because she's willing to do anything to get, like you just said, TikTok famous. And in her eyes, you're already TikTok famous because she even labeled her video a TikTok her nightmare date, a horror story dating a TikTok influencer. So from the onset, she was only really dealing with you, or well, she even said that she wasn't interested in you from the DMs based on your vibe, but then you guys randomly met in New York, and then she said, okay, she'll give it a second chance, but that's after she probably had already seen what you had going on in real life on and what TikTok and the influencer lifestyle has brought to you. So you were basically a duck, a lane, and a mark that she spotted, and she was trying to use you for what she could get out of you, and use you for the clout and for you to help boost her up on TikTok. And when those things didn't happen, she then began to bash you. And no telling what all, because you're not touching the whole bedroom incident. I see that now. You're not touching that. So it's no telling what happened on that standpoint. And then you didn't deliver on whatever it is the promise was. Because I feel like there's a part of this that the both of you guys are leaving out. Maybe you'll bring it up towards the end, but I feel like both of you guys are leaving something out here. There was a promise that was made that wasn't delivered. And so that's what led her to make that video, and that's what's leading you to have to respond to it in your opinion. But anyway, let me let you finish. We're gonna get to it.
But let's talk about the video. I wrote this script for her, which she asked me to do, about how she doesn't like cuddling or kissing or being touched. And we had a laugh from it. I told her a bunch of times. I thought it was weird that she said she's never really made out. And we had a laugh about it and all her preferences. The other thing about it is she had been super touchy and outspoken and different things about wanting to be touchy with me and kissing, etc. I'll put that here, but still continuously told me that she's not used to that. Now, I want to reiterate, the entire time that we were talking about it, we were laughing about it. I gave her the script that I gave her because, again, we were laughing and making jokes about it. So when I made my video, after she made her video, we were making fun of the exact same thing. I didn't think there was any problem with making a joke until I posted it and she lost her shit. She immediately said she couldn't believe I posted it, I disrespected her, and I should get a hotel room. I left right away without even a fight because I was already icked out by the way that she treated her friends anyway and all the other stuff she told me. I was ready to leave, but I just think it's funny that I knew she was going to make a TikTok because she was going.
Sir, I gotta stop you. You were icked out by the way that she was treating her friends, but you didn't leave until after you guys both posted the TikToks and she was upset and she asked you to leave. So you left with no problem. Sir, you weren't icked out. You weren't icked out. I'm sorry. Something what yeah, listen here, man. Oh Al Go- oh Al Gordon been around the block a few times, okay? Y'all not gonna get this by me. Y'all both leaving something out this story that y'all don't want to tell us, and that's fine. I'll let you finish. I'll fill in the blanks for the audience here once you're done.
Use it for clout. She was literally looking for something the entire time to advance herself, which is what she does in her career. Luckily, I think people know me on this app for having a sense of humor and always providing receipts. So it's just more proof that you shouldn't believe everything you see online. And some people are trying to use other people to harm them and to benefit themselves, even if they have to resort to lying and fabricating. Honestly, it's pathetic. Okay,
Okay, so yeah, at this point, hey man, y'all two might be in cahoots making this story time to try to boost up her stuff and yours. I don't know, but what I do know is that there is something that the both of you two are not telling us. And I'm gonna fill in the blanks because you didn't touch the bedroom. I keep saying that you didn't touch that, and she spoke on that, and that was a focal point of her story. You didn't even bother to touch that, but you do bring up the two friends that were around you guys at all times. So I'm just gonna connect dots here. Something happened between you, her, and her friend. I don't. You brought in another girl, so it was just you, her, and her friend. Now you're saying it's you, her friend, and another friend. So I don't know what y'all had going on, right? I don't know. Okay, I don't know, but I know something happened. More than what you telling me, and more than what she telling me, and it sounds like um there was a good time had amongst everybody. But when it came time to break the bread and break down the influence and get the subscribers and the followers up, it didn't pan out the way that she wanted it. So she wanted to air you out. Sounds like you could have potentially overpromised and underdelivered as far as what you said you could do for her. But at the same time, she could have had higher expectations out of you than what you were willing to give her. I don't know. I'm not blaming you for this because I see she started it. But at the same time, I don't know if you two are even in on this together because this is the internet. So that's part two. Hey, look, man, y'all let me know what y'all think. Jump down in the comments. Like I said, part two is in the description. Part one is in the description if you haven't seen it. Let me know what you guys think. That's it for this video. I will be posting part three, the finale. So be on the lookout for that. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out.